Hey Glam Fam, welcome to today's video. We have some new releases from Sephora. We are counting down to the big Sephora spring sale. Whether you're a VIB, Rouge, or Insider, I am so excited to share my recommendations. We'll do a full recommendations video on Sunday after the Rouge members already get to shop. But I did wanted to pull out some of these new releases in these videos so you guys can see if any of these products, and you are a Rouge member, if you had your eye on them, if this is anything you wanted to pick up, I wanted to try it out really fast. So I did pick up the Huda Beauty Cream Blush Stick, the new Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Cream Blush. And then we also have the debut product, the Dior Backstage Concealer. Very excited for you guys to see how this wears. I do a 2-day wear test in this video, so you will see how I apply it on camera with this look. And then I also did a more natural look. I didn't do it on camera, but you'll see the outdoor footage. And we'll go over all my favorite concealers as well. So if you had your eye out on any of these products, I hope this review helps you guys out. If you're new here, I'm Kristi. I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button and click that post notification bell. Join our beautiful Glam Fam. We're usually here every Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific time. And please give this video a huge thumbs up when you hit the like button and when you comment below. It really does help my videos out. You can check out my new merch, glamourouslifecollections.com, and follow me at Kristi Allure on Instagram, on TikTok, Kristi Allure, and on my blog, KristiAllure.com. And without further ado, let's get started. Beautiful Glam Fam, we're gonna jump right into this. This is the brand new Dior Backstage Perfecting Concealer. I am very excited. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know Dior Skin Correct, Dior Forever Skin Correct was like my #1 concealer until One Size and ABH showed up. I still love it. I just haven't gone back to it because I've been loving the other two so much. So I was really excited to try this new Backstage out. The trend is to go lighter. This is more of a full coverage concealer. So this is going to show you a 2-day wear test. I filmed a different portion outside, so I will show that later in the video. And that was more of a natural look where I just used the concealer under my eye and some foundation powder and gave you like more of like a 5-minute look, not on camera, but just talked about it and showed you outdoor footage. So we'll get into that later on in the video. Let's just touch on the details. This is $29. It comes in 22 shades. This one runs about $2.63 per mil, whereas the Dior Skin Correct, you're paying over $3, about $3.27 per mil. So same amount of mils, a little less money. I don't know about you guys, but I like that. So we are going to try this out on camera on more of a full coverage look because I actually have the Makeup Forever Undetectable Foundation, which is pretty much the only liquid foundation I am reaching for these days. I am in love with that foundation. That and the One Size BBB cream. So I have videos on both of those before the Sephora sale starts. You might want to check that out. They're both amazing. They're just two different foundations. This Makeup Forever one, I had it on for 14 hours the other day and it looked like I didn't even have foundation on, but everything was perfected. And the thing about that foundation is it just melts into your skin to the point where it almost wears better as the day goes on. Let's jump into the details really fast before we go into those swatches. So this is a caffeine-infused radiant concealer that delivers waterproof and crease-proof full coverage with an innovative makeup brush applicator for precision. This is a full coverage radiant foundation, so it's not a matte finish. This Dior Makeup Essential is a powerful spot concealer that offers an immediate radiance boost. Micropigments visibly blur imperfections and brighten the complexion to make eyes pop. Infused with caffeine, it conceals the look of dark circles and under eye bags and delivers an immediate fresh awakening effect. Again, I went with 2W, which is light skin with warm undertones. If I really, and I think I'm going to do this, you guys, I think I'm going to pick up the 1W in the Sephora sale because I do really like this for an everyday look. And that I think that the 1W will brighten me up a little bit more. I do find that this oxidizes a little bit. Let's take a look at the inside shot, and that's right away when they were wet. Those are all of my favorite concealers right there. And that's the Dior Backstage 2W, Dior Skin Correct 2WO, Dior Skin Correct 1W, One Size Concealer in 2G, which is my perfect match, ABH 9, and then that's the Smashbox Light Neutral Olive, which is one of my favorite concealer shades ever made. And I just love that Smashbox picks up those perfect olive undertones, which Dior typically does, but it didn't offer any of the olive undertones in this new one. And then outdoors dried down, we have again the Dior Backstage 2W is the first one, and then you can see the others. So dried down, they all pretty much blend into my skin in a very beautiful way. And then that's outdoors wet. You can kind of see what they look like, where the 2W lies compared to those other shades. I just wanted to give you different angles of where the sun hits so you can kind of gauge on what the shade you will be, and you can obviously go in store as well. I just wanted you guys to see what it looked like compared to my favorite concealers, because those are my top concealers right now. Those are the ones I reach for the absolute most. Let's just try this out. So again, this is a very interesting applicator. It's not your typical doe foot applicator. I don't like that you can't stand this up. It kind of has to lay down. That's a small critique of the packaging. The packaging is super cute and lightweight. I love that it's very easy just to throw in your bag. So it would be nice because this one size is pretty massive. So I'd probably bring these two with me if I was traveling. But it is a very different applicator. I'll show you what it looks like up close. And it's just an interesting tool. I wouldn't think to use a brush. I was a little afraid, and I don't know if this is gonna happen, but it hasn't happened yet, and I've used this for a few days now, is that sometimes when it's like has a brush like that it might fray once you put it back in there, but it feels like it's gonna be fine. So I prefer a doe foot applicator. I just do. It's just my taste, but you know what? That's okay. And a lot of makeup artists, professional makeup artists that would use like a Backstage line would typically put it on a pan or the back of their hand and really let it melt into the skin and then apply it with a brush because it's more sanitary anyway. So I can see why they did that. They use this for runway and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. So we're gonna try this, and we're gonna do a sponge on one side, brush on the other side like we normally do. And again, this is not a first impression. I've been wearing this because I really want it to be able to give you guys, you know, just an idea of how it wears. This is one that is wet, and you can allow it to dry down a little bit and you'll get more coverage. If you go in right away and with a beauty blender especially, or any type of sponge, you're going to not get as much coverage. You're gonna keep reapplying it. So just keep that in mind. This is definitely not one that dries down. I'm gonna put this one a little bit right here. I mean, it's not bad. It's a nice applicator, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not a bad one. And I'm getting used to it now. It's just different. I think that's what it is. It's just different. And I'm gonna put a little bit right here on my lines. I typically like to go, if you do a shade, 2 to 3 shades lighter, like a really light shade on, if you have smile lines like me and you're older, or even girls in their 30s have them, but that, putting a lighter shade there makes it kind of like pop up, because that's what highlighting does, is it pops it up so it's not so sunken in the lines. It's just a little makeup trick that might help you guys out down the road. So I'm letting that, see, it's still pretty wet as you can tell. So I'm gonna let that dry down a little bit and collect my thoughts on what brushes I wanna use. I personally liked this better with a brush because it is more of a lightweight concealer. It's not your typical thicker concealer like the one size that dries down really fast, and I actually like the one size with the sponge better. So I like the ABH with the brush better for coverage, but it actually, that one's kind of in between. I would say this one is really light, and then the ABH, maybe even KVD in the middle there, the Good Apple, and then one size would be the most full coverage, more of a matte dry down, but still extremely hydrating. That's what I love about that one. That's the one I reach for the absolute most. That is my favorite concealer, and pretty much nothing has topped that. But if you don't like really thick one, or you have really dry under eyes, I like the ingredients in this one relative to the KVD Good Apple. So, but the KVD Good Apple probably has a little bit more coverage. So as you can tell, see how wet it is? It's starting to dry down a little bit there. Let's take the sponge on this side now. I guess I have a little bit of dark circles. I was gonna try a corrector, but I didn't do that. That's okay, that's okay. We'll just try it without it. If you have dark circles, I do recommend putting a corrector with this one because it is more of a light coverage, but do you see how easy that blends? I mean, that was like 2 seconds, you guys. It blends like a dream. And I don't really like a lot of product on my forehead because I have those fine lines up there, so I typically don't like to put a lot there anymore. I used to. But do you guys see how easy that blends? It is really beautiful. It melts into the skin and it gives the most gorgeous, gorgeous finish. You guys will see it out in an outdoor footage wear test in about, I think it was like a 7-hour wear test I did that day. So I'm not gonna do one today because I already know how it wears. And this is like the Makeup Forever one where I feel like the longer you wear it, the prettier it even gets. I don't know why, because it just melts into your skin even more, which is just beautiful. It played really well with the foundation as well. The other day when I did it, I didn't use foundation. I just used, I had nothing on, just like a moisturizer, and then I just went directly in with a concealer and I had like 5 minutes to run out of the house, and literally that's all I had on. So that's really pretty. I wanted to see how it played with foundation. As you guys know, when I do my rankings, I need to see, is it gonna play well with others? All right, now let's try it with the brush. Oh no, I did use it with the brush the other day because I needed a little bit more coverage. But as you can see, you can still wear this in a glam look. That's what I like about it. I think this is probably one of the most versatile. I do feel like the one size can feel a little thick if you're doing a very natural out the door look, like a no makeup look. I do feel like the one size can be a bit much, you know, for that look. Now I'm gonna go back in with the brush only and just build that up. I have been recently loving to use, if you bought the Makeup Forever HD Matte Powder, you got this, but you can buy them separately on the Makeup Forever website. I don't know if Sephora has them. I'll put it right there if it does, but I think it's just Makeup Forever. I love this for underneath the eye. It has that perfect point and the perfect texture. This is one size 2R as I normally use. And we're gonna set that down. To guarantee no creasing, let that dry down a little bit before you go in there, but make sure that it's all smoothed out as well. The good thing about using a puff is it kind of forces that to happen. Do you see how like that's a perfect size right there? And the texture of it is amazing. I love it. Now I'm taking my Hourglass diffused light and doing that trick I love to do for mature skin where it just really the light reflects it really beautiful and it just kind of smooths out your wrinkles. This powder is an absolute dream with this Wayne Goss airbrush. Oh my gosh, you guys. It is like a mature skin dream. That is something to definitely pick up in the sale. We'll kind of go over some of my favorite base products. You can check out that link right there. That is a list of all of my favorite beauty products at Sephora. I'll narrow that down on Sunday with my really favorites, but it just kind of gives you guys, because you have to remember makeup and hair products are all relative, and I have a separate hair and lifestyle list. Let me contour or set my contour really fast. I have been using this, I'm just going to talk about this as well. This is the Hourglass Nude Bronze Light. When I do cream contour, I don't like to use anything too much for contour, powder contour to set it down. So I've been liking this a lot, and I use it with the Refer 05. I think it grabs the Hourglass powders really beautifully, and I just put it like right there. It's like the perfect tone, and it just makes it so soft. Hey Glam Fam, so I wanted to test this concealer out on a different day, and this is about 7 hours. I had it on since this morning. It's almost 6 o'clock, so more than 7 hours that I've had this on, and I wanted to show you guys how it's wearing. I think the sun's gonna kind of keep going in and out, but I actually am loving the way this concealer is wearing. Now, this is definitely not a full coverage glam type concealer I would reach for, but this is
this is a 5-minute makeup right here. Literally all I have on is the concealer and a very light amount of powder. I just literally just kind of used my Makeup Forever foundation powder in Y245, and this is 2W in the concealer. What I like about this shade is for this kind of look, I don't want anything too brightening where it's not gonna, like, it would show too much of a transition because I don't have foundation on or anything. All I have on is the Laura Mercier new Tinted Moisturizer Cream Blush, which a video is coming on that. But I'm loving it, by the way. I wanted to test that out and see how it wore with the concealer, and they both are absolutely beautiful. What I like about these two products is that you can literally wear this on a very natural day. I mean, I barely put any of the concealer on. Now, is it covering? I had dark circles today. It's not, I don't think this is the type of concealer where if you have dark circles, you would have to use a color corrector first. So in the next, when I do this in studio, I am going to try applying it with a color corrector to see what the difference is, but I wanted to see what it was like without a color corrector and how it wore. And I think it is wearing absolutely beautiful. And I just love that it took me 5 minutes, an easy concealer. This is probably one I will consistently reach for on my just go out the door. I just running to Trader Joe's to run some errands, and it's all I've been doing today is just running around. And I really, really, really like this concealer. And I had a feeling I was going to, because I think the whole Backstage line by Dior is amazing and it's beautiful. I would even go as far as saying I like this even more than the LYS one, because I would use them pretty similarly as far as like for more natural days. I didn't even use this all over the face. I literally just put it under my eye. Now, if for my more glam looks, I almost think I would like 2N a little bit more, or even 1W, which is typically what I wear in Dior for concealer, just because I like it more brightening when I'm doing a full glam over foundation look. But for this type of look, 2W is perfect, and I think I could probably get away with a 2N as well, but I think it looks really, really nice, you guys. I'm really, really impressed. So I can't believe I have no foundation on. I only have the Tinted Moisturizer blush, the little bit of concealer right here, and then I did a little bit in the T-zone right there, and then I just did the Makeup Forever powder just to set it out the door really quick, popped on my lashes, no eyeshadow or anything. So if you want to see a look like this, excuse me, if you want to see a look like this, let me know, comment below. I haven't done a 5-minute look in a long time, but I had to get ready really fast. So I really like this, so you guys, it is really beautiful. So if you had your eye out in the Sephora sale, this is one to get your hands on. I really like it for my more natural girls. For my more glamorous girls, I still think the Dior Forever Skin Correct is more full coverage, but I think the trend these days is to go lighter and to wear something, you know, a little bit softer and not so full coverage. So I appreciate that they pulled that out, because usually Dior Backstage products are more full coverage, especially the foundation is. So, and that's a really good one if you like waterproof type foundations. So anyway, I will see you guys later on. Love you. Bye.
All right, you guys, so I finished up the rest of my eyeshadow on the Natasha Denona video, and this is the pastel palette. Now I just want to finish off this look with the cream blushes that I did pick up, new releases at Sephora, just in case you guys were interested. I did pick up the Huda Beauty, like I mentioned a little bit ago, and I picked up the Laura Mercier. I much, much, much prefer the Laura Mercier over this one. Is it my favorite cream blush? No. I still love the Patrick Ta ones a lot more. I still love the Jaclyn Cosmetics cream blush stick from Sephora. I really, really, really love the Hourglass Sacred. This is probably my favorite cream stick blush. I would recommend that over these two new releases, but I do like this for a very natural look. So I am gonna keep this on hand. I wore it in the outdoor, as I mentioned in that outdoor footage, I wore this and it was very beautiful. I really like this for just running out the door, where this would be a little too aggressive. So I appreciate that. This, like I said, is just way too iridescent for my taste. And I think all of them have that glow. So if you like that glow and that's all preference, then this is really spectacular if you like that glow. I will just put it on just so you guys can see it. I'm gonna use the Stands Out Beauty Sponge. I'm gonna put it on, let's put it on this side, and I like to just go off of the back of the stick just like that, and that's what it looks like. It's very bright, but it's very natural, so even though it looks aggressive, it is more of a natural color. So it is pretty, and I just wanted you guys to see, but you can see that gleam. So if you like that, I prefer it more in my highlighters. I just feel like it accentuates my pores looking up close, but it is pretty. So let me calm that down a little. I have the LYS one on the way as well. So I'm gonna, the new colors. I do want to try that one out. It is pretty, actually, the more I look at it. Okay, it's pretty. I think it's just, you know, it's all preference, what you don't and do like, but it is pretty, and it actually looks good with the shadow. It kind of gives it like that, almost that unicorn feel. I have glitter from the eyeshadow, but that's okay. That is pretty. Okay, I take it back. When I put it on the other day, I didn't like it, but over my makeup, it actually goes over well. I like to test do these work out, you know, over powders, because you guys know I like to put them on over my powders, and this one, it did glide over powder. I didn't think it would, actually, because I tried it with no makeup on the other day and I didn't care for it as much, but over powder, and you can see all of that Valentino freaking stardust all over me. Oh well, we're gonna go with it. All right, now I want to try the Laura Mercier on this side, and I just have bronzer on. I don't have any blush yet. This one is more, this is her tinted moisturizer in a cream blush form. What I like is there's no SPF in it, so her SPF breaks me out, so unfortunately I can't use her tinted foundation anymore. But yeah, it's really pretty. See, blend it out. It's really, really beautiful. This one to me is more of like, more of a subdued color, but it is also very beautiful. We're just gonna use the other side of the Stands Out Beauty Sponge, and that's kind of what it looks like blended in. So it does have more of a wet texture. I don't know how this is gonna go over powder though, so we're about to find out. I used it with just the concealer the other day and then just put powder over it. I actually think this one is prettier. Oh my gosh, you guys, I thought for sure I was gonna like this one more, but I think I like the Huda one a little bit more over this look. So we're gonna, well, let me just show you guys. So that's Southbound Laura Mercier, and this is Peony Pink Huda Beauty. And those are the two brand new formulas I just released at Sephora, just so we match, because it's gonna bother me. I'm gonna put the Peony Pink on this side because I actually thought I actually like it more than I thought I was. It is actually really pretty. Look at that. I almost wasn't even gonna use it in this video. There I go. I wasn't gonna pick up the Natasha Denona palette, and I did, and I like it. And this is the same thing. So these are really good price points too. For the sale, you get that extra 20, 15, or 10 off. Ooh, okay, okay, Huda, you do know what you're doing. Okay, okay, girl, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, this is a good buy. This is a good find. I would recommend that one. That is really pretty. And actually it's not emphasized. I mean, it is a little bit because there's a gleam there. So anytime you have any type of iridescent, the only time you can get glow without emphasizing texture is when you pick up Hourglass products. But as far as anyone else, I don't think they've nailed it like Hourglass has, but it's still pretty. Luckily, my pores are not too bad right now, so it works out nicely. Okay, that's a lot prettier than I thought, and it works out really beautiful with the Stands Out Beauty Sponge. All right, we're just gonna finish this off with a little highlight. I have actually been reaching for my Hourglass one the most lately. This is Brilliant Strobe Light. Oh, this is such a beautiful highlighter. So I'm gonna pick it up on to this Units 305, very affordable, amazing, mimicking Japanese hair brushes, but like at a quarter of the price because they're synthetic. I'm just putting that on there. Since we already have the glow from the Huda, we don't need too much highlighter. And I think that is a perfect way to kind of take that texture down too. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe you, Kristi. This is what happens to me. I always say I don't like something, I'm not gonna use it, and then I end up liking it. My mom used to say, give her time, give her time. I need my mom back to tell me that. This is a little aggressive on this side because I have the Laura Mercier on top of the Huda. Yeah, so that one's a little more aggressive. So what you can do is just, if that's the case, you'll just take like a puff, any kind of puff that you have, and like that side's a little aggressive, and I'm just gonna kind of start taming that down. See, that just starts taming it. I don't have anything on it, I'm just taking away product. Sometimes I have more texture on this side of my face, so sometimes it picks up pigment a little bit more too. That's something to keep in mind, but you know what? That's how it all turned out. It's been about 4 hours now that I've filmed another video that I've had this concealer on, and it's holding up beautifully, you guys. I mean, beautifully. Creaseless. It is amazing. This is a phenomenal. I want to pick this up in the 1W. Just because, again, I want more of a brightening effect. But what I want to tell you guys really quick is, I mean, you saw the outdoor footage. You saw how it wore after 7 hours. I had blue on right here, and I had to clean it up, and I couldn't get it off. So I thought, okay, you know what, we're just gonna be daring. I already set down this concealer. What am I gonna do? I actually just took the brush, dabbed it on there, took my brush, don't do a sponge, use a sponge afterwards, and I just like literally patted that in there and cleaned up the blue. It went over powder beautifully. So that is amazing. That is really a big selling point. So if you have your eyes out on this concealer, you will not go wrong. It is beautiful. If you're a twinsy to me, I think 2W is beautiful for more of a natural look, and especially this type of concealer. But if you want something more brightening and you're a little extra like me, I'm gonna pick up the 1W as well and keep the 2W, just like I do with the Dior Skin Correct, because that's the same thing I had with that one, where I felt like the 2W was almost too dark though. That's a problem with that one. I do feel like this is a perfect shade and it works out beautifully, but I just like that little extra brightening. So I love it though, you guys. Let me know, comment below if you had your eyes out on that. I give that a perfect star rating of 5 out of 5 stars. I think it played well with other products. I think you can go from it built up incredibly, because I have a good amount on, plus I went over it. So that's pretty darn good for mature eyes to not have that creasing. So really appreciate that. Definitely solid. 100% of me would recommend that. I actually, out of all the concealers that I've tried this year, I know Lawless is coming out with a brand new one, so we will be picking that up as well. But as far as the KVD Good Apple and the LYS one that I just reviewed, I would rank that one on top of those two, just to be honest. I felt like that one doesn't crease at all. It doesn't break up at all, and I really, really appreciate that. They nailed that medium to buildable coverage. Whereas like this is full coverage, the one size that I love, and Anastasia is even full coverage, but it's very hydrating full coverage. So I felt like there was that missing market of, I want something that's lightweight, but a good undertone, almost like the Lancome one I did last year, which is really good. You could check out that video. I just couldn't find my undertone. Almost like that. That's what I would kind of compare it to. So if you have your eyes out on it and you need a concealer, that is a beautiful one to really take from day to night. And again, it builds up nicely even over powder, which is unbelievable. So hope that helped you guys out. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Remember, the Sephora sale is going from $4.1 to $4.11, depending on what tier level you are, if you're VIB, Rouge, or Insider. And the 30% off of all Sephora collection items I will go over on Sunday. All of my favorites goes on the entire time, no matter what tier you are. I have a lot of Sephora collection favorites, so we'll talk about that on Sunday. Love you guys so much. I know this is a fun, like in the middle of the week video. I never usually do. And if you're new here, I'd really love for you to hit that subscribe button and click that post notification bell. Join our beautiful glam fam. We're here every Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, and we'd love for you to join our family. We just have a wonderful sisterhood here on YouTube and a beautiful community. If you haven't already, check out my new merch, Glamorous Life Collections. Follow me at Kristi Allure on Instagram, on TikTok, Kristi Allure, and on my blog, KristiAllure.com. And I will see you guys I'll see you guys in a couple days, and I will also see you on Sundays. Love you guys. Bye.